are listening to the Starter Girls podcast with Jennifer Loading. Whether you are starting a project, starting a business, starting a brand, or starting a movement, we are here to talk about it. And the Starter Girls show is brought to you by Walt Mills Photographer of Glad Models Agency. If you are here in the Dallas or surrounding area and looking for some photography, check out Walt Mills. You can learn more about him at photosbywalt.com. And with that, we are going to get things started. Today is a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up, be amazing, be you, do you. All right, my friends, I am super excited to welcome my guest to the show today, Dianet Franco. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about her. Hi there. I want to tell you guys a little bit about her. I'm good. And that way you guys can get to know her real quick. But I do want to say something to my listeners because they're like, where did I find this amazing gal? Okay, so I have to tell the story really quick before I talk about her. So Dianet met, I want to say many moons ago. I feel like it's been many moons ago because my youngest is now 16, and we were just discussing this before the show that I met her before I was pregnant with my youngest. In fact, you might have been taking my classes when I was pregnant with him because I was at Bally's Total Fitness back in the day when Bally Total Fitness was around, and I was an aerobics instructor.
A long time ago.
Yes, it's been a long time. So we have, it's been incredibly, I just say amazing to watch you over the past years just grow and morph and evolve. And so I am so excited to talk to you. So I got to tell our listeners about you so they know this story really quick. So Dianet is an immigrant that came to this country at a very young age. She dropped out of school without completing the 6th grade. She became a teenage mom and a victim of domestic violence, tired from working jobs that would never ascend her career due to a lack of traditional college education. In 2012, she set out to find a way she could be her own boss and be a successful entrepreneur. Knowing very little about real estate investing, she dove into that world. She is now the proud owner of Renovation Diva, LLC, Lending Hand Homes, LLC, and she is a licensed realtor in the state of Texas. And so like I was saying before this even started, it has been so fun to watch you grow and do this. And I've been following your stuff and just seeing all this amazingness. So we're going to be talking about this today. So welcome to the show, Dianet. Excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's an honor.
Thank you. So what I want to do, because my listeners are going to listen to this and they're like, oh my goodness, this is just crazy story. Take us back. How did this all come about for you? How this real estate, how did you get where you are today?
Okay, well, short story. How much time do you have?
Go for it. Go for it.
Exciting days for this.
Yes.
It all started because I've always had in like odd jobs, because I dropped out of school when I was in 6th grade thinking I know enough, so I don't need to keep going to school. And moving forward, it was just like, a fast food place here or an odd job there. And I would ascend, I would, get promoted quickly. But then at one point I would just, cap out because I needed a piece of paper saying that I was smart enough to take the next level, which I didn't have. And I didn't have the money to go to traditional schooling to get that piece of paper that said I was smart. And so I just started looking at things that I could do, businesses that I could create without me having to have so much money. Now, as a proud Mexican, I love to cook, but I don't think I have enough money to start up a restaurant, a legit place, So investigating all of that, it turned out to be like I needed maybe $400,000 to $500,000 just to start a restaurant and to maintain it. And the rate of a restaurant making it through was very low. So I didn't have, unless I sold my organs to get that money to have that business, it was not going to happen.
Right.
So I started looking for other things I could do, and I just stumbled upon real estate investing. And, I heard all those people that go out and say that, you can invest in real estate with no money in your spare time. And, roses and butterflies and everything. And so I fell for it. I was like, yeah, it's great. I can do this. And yes, let me tell you, real estate has been wonderful to me. I I didn't know anything about real estate at all whatsoever. I didn't know. When I tell you I knew zero about real estate, I mean zero about real estate. But I just dove in and started learning everything, and little by little just got more familiar with the terminology, with familiar with contracts and how to structure one. And that's how it all kind of just started, me trying to look for a better life for myself and my children. So
I love your story. And not only that, I think the thing that caught my attention is just watching you on Facebook, like all of the stuff that's been kind of evolving with you with this, and just seeing even like some of the homes that you've flipped. I mean, I've seen some of the work that's been done. And so it's just been neat to see this progression. And you and I worked together for a very short time. So I know your
yes,
work ethic. I know how you are. And so I just think about all this, even like you being this young mom and you have these little kids, and we've talked about this. I still see your kids as being these little kids, and they're not. They're big
same.
kids now, you
Yeah,
know? And
same.
so exactly. And so it's been just really neat to watch you evolve through this. And so you've got these two companies. And so are they doing different things? Are they very similar? Is one of them like more into the real estate part of it as far as selling homes, or is one more into like flipping the homes? Tell us a little bit about those.
Yes. Because I know nothing about real estate, I actually started 3 companies.
Oh,
The
wow.
first one wasn't structured properly because I know nothing about a business at this point. And so we closed that company and opened up Lending Hand Homes. And out of that company, I was flipping houses, basically buying them that were in need of repair somehow, and then fixing them and putting them on the market, and also keeping some for rentals. But as it turns out, it wasn't a good idea, and this is all coming along with me learning about business structures. My CPA suggested that I open up another company so I can kind of separate the two activities. That I could have the rental properties in one company, and then my active activities like flipping a house, buying, fixing, and
Right.
selling in another company, so we could structure it different and ask for different things when we're, reporting taxes and everything, which I have no idea what she's talking about, but I trust that she knows what she's talking about.
That's so
So,
awesome. Yeah, that's so
yeah,
awesome.
so that's why I have those 2 companies. Lending Hand Homes is my passive income company, and then Renovation Diva is my active income company.
Look at you. I love it. My goodness.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
great. So great. So great. So proud of you. So I want to ask you, some different questions here, just kind of to like expand upon all of this. So tell us I really want to know, like, what is the best part of this? What do you love about what you're getting to do in this industry?
I think the best part of me being in this business is the freedom that I have with being my own boss. Not to say that, like my last job, I basically ran the whole place by myself, so I was kind of my own boss,
Right.
but I didn't get the boss pay.
Right.
So I needed my own company, but that's what I think draws me. Obviously, that we have entrepreneur hearts
Mm-hmm.
because we've always been pretty much our own boss. I mean, I have other jobs in the past, and I'm sure that I could do something else in the future if I ever need, to change atmospheres and what I'm doing now. But it's always going to be something where I can kind of do my own thing. I don't
Right.
like someone telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And I have to ask someone to go take a break. I have to ask someone to go on vacation. I mean, literally right now, if I'm like, you know what, I feel like a trip, I just leave.
I love
So
it.
I don't have to ask anyone for anything. And I think that to me is like the best thing ever.
Yeah. So how's everything been going, during this COVID? Has business been staying pretty steady? Have you found that? Has it picked up? What's it been like?
For me, it's been really steady. I don't think it's picked up, and not because of lack of properties that are out there. It's just I've been involved, again, the perks of being your own boss. I've been involved in other things. And so my rental company has been perfect. I actually thought, I feel so blessed because as soon as I heard what they were saying, like you can't evict people, and as as a human being, I understand completely.
Right.
We're living just times that no one has ever lived before. So I understand that some people can lose jobs, and I can understand that people are going through hard times. And so as a landlord, my job is not to be the mean landlord that everyone talks about in the media, that, oh, they got evicted, poor people. For me, it's like those houses are my retirement. I don't have a traditional retirement. And so I need them to run as a well-oiled machine, because that is what I'm going to live off of when I get old. So
Mm-hmm.
I need these tenants to pay these rents, because in turn I pay the mortgage. And if I don't pay the mortgage, the mortgage company is not going to tell me, okay, Dee, well,
Right.
it's COVID, you don't have to pay. They're going to foreclose on me. In turn, it's a domino effect. They're going to have to move out. My tenants are going to have to move out because the house is being foreclosed on. So at the end of the day, it's kind of just a circle that we can't avoid. But thank goodness that all of my tenants, are good, and they're paying on time. And so I was really worried about that for a minute, because having a lot of properties, we can pay our properties for, or take the tenant's responsibility, but then at the same time, how long can we do that for?
Right.
So I'm fortunate with that. As far as Renovation Diva, I really haven't looked for anything at the moment, because we've been doing other things. I've been helping friends with things, personal things that they're needing. I helped 3 friends remodel their houses this whole year, because they are listing it, or they're just wanting it to be remodeled. I have a friend that's moving, and so I'm helping her remodel her house so she can put it on the market. And so just things like that I've been doing this year. Not really flipping anything, because I don't really feel like it, but that's my call.
I love it. You gave me chills, girlfriend. Just listening to you talk about all this, it's so neat to see that you're in this place where you can make those decisions. And I think that's the epitome of entrepreneurship. That's what everybody in entrepreneurship strives for, is to have that. I don't want to say the word balance. I hate the word balance, but harmony. I always talk about harmony, because
Right.
harmony is that place where you're okay making decisions and living with your decisions, because you have the ability to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what
Yes.
it's so neat, knowing that where I've known you've come from, and to be able to see you on this side and be able to say, I can make these decisions in my life because I worked my
Yes.
butt off and made some things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
even you talking about your CPA, I'm so proud of you. I just think this is so awesome that you're in that place. And what an incredible example for your daughters to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're not too interested in real
Sure,
estate right
sure.
now.
Right. But I'm saying,
it's
the
rare that your
leadership.
kids-
Yeah, the
Yeah.
leadership part. I think the part of watching you survive and be able to come out of
Yeah.
something and make something out of yourself. That's
Absolutely.
the part.
I hope that they do. Yeah, I really hope. I think that your kids are always watching, no matter their age.
Right.
They're always watching, and they're always, even though they don't think so, they are taking in what you're doing. So
100%. And you know, I
Yeah.
just had this conversation with somebody today because, you know, a lot of times you're right. Our kids they're picking up everything that we're doing, the actions, the behaviors, and they don't always let you know that they've observed those behaviors. But then you'll hear them talk to somebody else and then you realize, okay, maybe I did do okay as a parent. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like the true test. You
Exactly.
gotta somehow sneak up on them with somebody else
Hmm.
because they're not gonna let you know. You gotta wait till you overhear them with someone else. And then you're like,
Exactly. And sometimes I hear them, yeah, I hear them, like, I'll tell them stuff over and over again, and they're like, okay, mom, okay, like, I get it. And then I'm like, they're not listening, you know? And then next thing you know, like you said, you hear them in a conversation with someone else. It's like word for word what you told them.
right? It's like,
And so I'm like, yes,
yeah, there you
you
go.
got that
Love it.
from me.
That's right. I love it. I love it. So Dianet, I got to ask you the mindset question because I want to know this answer from you. So because you've definitely had some success. So when you are going after something, what does that mindset look like for you?
Oh my goodness, I know nobody.
You know nobody.
When I'm doing something, like when I first started the business, obviously, like I told you, if I'm being specific about real estate, it's like, what is a contract? What is the title commitment? Who's the surveyor? Who's the inspector? Who's the escrow agent? What is an escrow agent? It's so many questions that literally I just dove in and did it, and when I mean dove in and did it, some people, and I coach real estate students as well. I have a lot of people calling me and asking me, oh, can you coach me? And I'm like, well, are you ready?
Right.
Because a lot of people want to be an entrepreneur. A lot of people want to make decisions like, we do, or, every day we think, every day I'm like, oh, I'm going broke. I'm going bankrupt. And then I'm like, yes, I'm rich. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going broke. That's the life of an entrepreneur. you know, Everybody thinks they want this life, but not everyone is prepared for this life. And, to be focused in this, in whatever is it that you're doing, you really have to dive in and do it. I always, like I said, I tell my students, like, you have 24 hours a day. And you use those 24 hours a day, right? It's not like tonight you go and you say, you know what, I only used 20 of my hours, so I have 4 left over, so I'm going to go ahead and roll them over into tomorrow, and now tomorrow I have 28.
Right.
You have 24. You use every second of your day, whether you're wasting your time or using your time, regardless, you use every single second. And so when you are introducing a new activity into your day, you need to delete something off your day so you can introduce that new activity. And so to me, I think that's what you need to do. Is like, you need to focus on what you need to sacrifice out of your day in order to introduce something new so you can be successful at what you're doing. Because otherwise we can always plan to do things and try to stay focused. But if you don't sit there and analyze your day and structure your day to introduce these new activities so you can be successful, then you're never going to be successful because you're not using your time wisely. So
That's
to me,
good.
that's kind of like the focus. The focus is the time. What is
Right.
your time doing for you?
No, that's good.
So
That's good.
I dove in. I remember when I was when I first started real estate. I worked 7 to 3 p.m. and then I would get home, cook dinner, and then start reading about real estate. And then it was like maybe 5 o'clock when I would finish dinner and everything. From 5 to like 7, I would read up or educate myself on real estate. And then from 7 to like 11, I would do networking events because it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So I would start meeting these people, and then I would get home around midnight, 1 in the morning, and then I would have to be up at 5 in the morning the next day. So, I introduced more activities into my day and lost more sleep. lost time with my friends, lost time with my family, just so I can introduce this new activity. And it was just keeping that time schedule, staying focused on that time that you allowed for this new activity. That is what made me successful, is to stay focused on that time that I blocked for my real estate.
So good. So good. That's the thing that kept resonating as you were talking, is the focus. You dove into it. And I think that is the big thing when you said earlier, when I asked this question about people are not ready for this lifestyle, because and I think people do this with a lot of things. I think they do it with exercise, relationships. They come into something with this idea that if it doesn't work out, I can walk away. Well, the minute you come in halfway committed or a third of the way committed, you're pretty much out the door already. You've already had okay, if something doesn't fit in my parameters or my conditions, I quit. It's already there, right? So you have to, and that's what I'm hearing from you, and I agree with you 100%, is that when you come into something, you have to come in with a commitment. It's, I'm going to do this. I know that it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to have to commit, and I'm going to learn the tools that I need to learn the knowledge, whatever that is, and you're evidence that doing that worked. And that's the thing.
Exactly.
This is why I love doing this podcast and bringing you guys on here, because there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to success. And it is all about the work ethic, the passion. It's about the dedication, the focus, the committing, and it is about giving something up to get where you need to be. And it is about who you know. And you got to get out and talk to people, 100%. I'm so glad you did that networking, because, I went networking last night. I'm a big believer in networking. I believe in it 100%. One of the things I used to say is, and I still stand by this, is that if you are stuck, you need to find somebody, because it just means you need to meet somebody else. Because every time you meet somebody, they lead you to something that you need to know, or to another person. And as long as you're continuing to meet people, the door's open for you. So
exactly.
You are so awesome. Absolutely. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And those people are the ones that are going to help you. And in the beginning, I could tell you many stories where I got stuck, and just by being at a meeting and talking to someone, I got a deal closed.
Unstuck.
So that means a lot. And like I said, with my students, I'm like, I could sit here and teach you 24/7 about real estate and never finish, because it's always evolving. Real estate is not what it was 6 months ago, and definitely not what it was 5 years ago.
Right.
It's not what it was yesterday. Let's say we learned about COVID this morning, so again, real estate is no longer what it was yesterday. Just in one day, it could just change in a split second.
Right.
So it's always about the people that you know that are going to help you get through that. So I could teach you, I could teach you until I'm blue in the face, but if you know no one, then it's not going to help you either. So.
Absolutely. So good. So good. All right. One more serious question, then we're going to go fun here on you. So in Dianet's words, you kind of touched upon this, I think, several times throughout. If someone listens to this, I think they're going to get a resonating message here from this. But in your words, how would you define success? What does that look like to you?
Success to me is really, freedom to do what you want to do. The ability, the flexibility of doing what you want when you want, and not necessarily, I don't feel like success means money. I really don't think that success means money. I believe success means you're happy, means that you're flexible, that you can do, like I said, what you want when you want. And so for me, I feel like I am successful. I can get up right now, get in my car, and drive somewhere. I can get on a plane and go somewhere. Now, I may not be able to spend $1 million on that trip, but I'm happy because I can go and make that trip happen. I can sit at home if I want to. And, as far as monetary success, I think that making money while you sleep is true success. You know, if you don't have to lift a finger to make that money, then you've become successful. And for me, I feel like that's all I want, is just the freedom to do what I want. So that is true success for me.
That's so good. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's so good. Okay, so I've got to ask you some fun rapid fire questions. I always have to get a little unserious in the podcast. You know, like I like to be a little serious, then we got to have a little fun because we're starter girls with a Z, right? So, are you a morning or a night person?
Night person.
Are you?
Absolutely night person. Like if you wake me up before my body says I need to wake up, you don't want to know me.
You don't want to know.
Like my hair, when I wake up, my hair is like all over the place, and I look like I've been through it all, and I need a minute to wake up. But at night, girl, I'm like, where are we going?
You got it going on. You got your heels and your jewelry. You're on it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. All right. All right. Are you a cat or dog person?
Dog.
Dog. Do you have a dog?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
What kind of dog do you have?
She's outside somewhere. She's right there. She just passed by.
What kind of dog is it?
She is a mixed dog. She's a shelter dog. And so
Awesome.
I got her, I don't know, she was, I don't know how old she was, but we're assuming somewhere between 2 to 3 months. Soon after, probably a month after we got her, she started losing her baby teeth.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so she was tiny. She's still tiny. I was hoping she was a little bit bigger, but she's such a great dog. I just absolutely love her.
That's awesome.
And I wish we could sleep together. I would literally throw my husband out of the bed and put her in there. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's between us and the podcast people.
And all
That's
the people,
it. Nobody else.
and all the people listening. Hey, listen, what happens on the podcast stays on the podcast, right?
Exactly.
Nobody knows
so
outside the
everybody
podcast.
knows. Yes. So
This is
nobody
so
tell
great.
my husband.
This is so
But
great.
I literally would trade him in a second to sleep with my Bella in the bed every night.
I love it.
So.
I love it. You can have the couch. Bella's going to get the bed. You know, that's the way
Yes.
it rolls. It's the way it rolls. They think
Absolutely.
they're humans too.
And as soon as he leaves, she's in the bed with me. But again, don't tell him. He
Okay.
doesn't know.
We
He
got it.
thinks she doesn't ever get on the bed.
We got it.
So.
All right, Dianet, what's your favorite food?
I don't think, I mean, I didn't get this voluptuous body by not eating. So I don't think, look at all these rolls, especially COVID rolls. So, yeah.
You're killing me over there. You're just an
I
eat.
don't think that
Go ahead.
What?
I was going to
I
say,
don't think that I have a favorite food. I
You're-
honestly don't. I will eat anything. I mean, like, I just love food. You know, my perfect job would be, there's Bella. I hear her sniffing through the door trying to get in. She's crying. Hold on just a second.
okay.
Come on, Benita.
There she is.
Yeah. What?
Okay, so your perfect job is, what were you telling us? Your perfect job? We were talking about
my
food.
perfect
Your food, your
job,
favorite
yes.
food.
Sorry, I got distracted.
It's all right.
My favorite or my perfect job, if, you know, I didn't have to worry about money or paying, you know, mortgages and all that stuff, my perfect job would be actually a food critic, a traveling food critic. And I would just absolutely love to do that. Like, I would love to travel around the world and just taste food. That's all I would love to do.
You're like giving
I
me
don't
an
care if
idea
I
right
just
now.
rolled around.
Yeah, you're giving me ideas right now about the food.
Okay,
I think
well-
that is such a great idea. Like you could go and do reviews of restaurants, and you could
I
you
would
could
love
eat
to
free
do
and
that.
like take the food and totally you could have fun with that.
That is my absolute goal. Like,
That'd be
I
so
would
fun.
love to do that. My youngest daughter just got married about a little bit over a month ago. She's still living with me because her husband is underway. He's in the military.
Gotcha.
And so she's staying with us, so she's not by herself. But I'm like, I think I got the bad end of that deal because she's still here.
You thought you were done with that one, right?
Yeah, I was like, hey, I don't think this is how it's supposed to go. But anyway, she's still here. And so I'm like, once my kids are gone and I don't have to worry about them, I would absolutely love to. Obviously, I have the flexibility of doing other things. And so that is one thing that I've always wanted to do. I don't care if I'm just a little round grape when I'm done with this, but I would love
That's
to
so
do
good.
that.
That's so good. That's good. All right. One last fun question I want to ask you. If you could be any superhero or a character for a day, what would Dianet pick?
Let me see. Who would I be? I think I would be, I don't know if there is a character like this, but if there is, I would be that character. Someone that's invisible.
I think I just saw like a horror flick with an invisible man or something in it. It was like a horror flick though.
Right? I feel like there is a superhero that's invisible, or
Yeah.
what is it? Mystique. That's her name.
Mystique, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
said
would
that not too
love.
long ago. Yeah, Chris is doing signs back at me back there. Somebody said that not too long ago. But you know what'd be so great about that? You could go just like incognito after, like if you just didn't want to talk to somebody, you just go invisible. Like you're like, I'm done with this conversation. I'm
Absolutely.
invisible. You could sneak
Yes,
out of
absolutely.
places. Nobody'd even know.
Yeah, nobody would know. I love it. I absolutely love that. Not to say that, especially, I'm very grateful for my life. I was just talking to a friend last night, and we were talking about, sometimes people ask you if there's anything you could change in your life. Would you? What would you change if you could? And I'm like, I don't think I would change anything. I take all the bad, all the ugliness that I had in my life, every horrible situation that I've been through, I take it, because if I don't take it, that means it would change slightly. And if it changed slightly, it would mean I would not be talking to you right now.
That's right.
So
So awesome. So good.
I absolutely take everything that I have, but then sometimes, you just kind of need to get away. And I feel like being invisible, I can do that. Like I don't have to worry about who's thinking what of me, or who's looking at me, or who's judging me, or whatever.
Sure.
It's just I'm just invisible to everybody. So
So
that would
good.
be the fun thing for me to do. And then I could eat all the stuff that I wanted and nobody would judge me,
So
because
true.
nobody would know it's me.
Right. So true. So true. So, Dianet, if our listeners wanted to come find you, where do we send them? Tell us where to find you.
So mostly, I this year I really haven't done, especially with COVID. I really haven't done much with my active real estate career, but I do maintain the Facebook page.
Okay.
So I don't answer as fast as I should, because sometimes I'm a little bit
You're
busy doing
busy
stuff.
traveling and doing things.
We are actually, we postponed our
Yeah.
road trip. We're taking a road trip in a couple of weeks. We postponed it a little bit. Some stuff came up and we couldn't do it. But we're going to take a road trip. We're going to go for like 3 or 4 weeks, try to drive all the way to Alaska. So
Awesome. Awesome.
that's
So,
going to be fun.
sounds amazing. So, what's your Facebook page? We've got some stuff scrolling down at the bottom. But tell
yeah.
us, our listeners, where do they find you?
Facebook page, you can look up Renovation Diva. And so you can message me there, or you can interact with me there.
Okay.
And if you want to call, my office number is 281-489-4444. So,
Perfect. Okay. And we'll make sure
we can talk.
Okay. And we'll make sure when this goes out that we get you tagged and we get the contact information in there so that if anybody wants to learn more, find out, they can come and reach you. Sound good?
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I do want to tell you, thank you so much for being on here. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great things. I love seeing you, like I said, evolve and just keep moving and growing. What an incredible example you are for everybody. I think just your story and to move forward. And so thank you for being a guest today.
Thank you for inviting me and thank you for the opportunity. It's so awesome. Thank you for thinking of me. It's a great honor. Anytime that I can help anyone, reach goals that they may think that they can't have or reach
Sure.
just because of their background, I'm more than happy to help.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you. All right. And I do want to say to our listeners, of course, if you love our show, be sure you give us a rating on iTunes. And we are on Amazon and iHeart now. So, yay. And check out the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And with that, I do want to leave you guys with a final thought. The important thing is not being afraid to take a chance. Remember, the greatest failure is to not try. Once you find something you love to do, be the best at doing it. And that is by Debbie Fields. All right, you guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We'll see you next time.